angel. My hair's going crazy. I got a pocket full of seeds I need to get out of my pants. And my iPad, I thought it was loading YouTube and it just kind of gave the middle finger. There we go. I like to be able to see the chat on here just in case I miss something. I literally have an entire pocket full of seeds. I was out in the yard picking up seeds off my dad's Japanese orchid. Oh, I dropped one. I figured I would dig seeds out of my pocket first and then get into the live stream. Ah, there's dirt in my pocket. Oh, it wouldn't be the first time I got dirt in my pocket. But we have this beautiful Japanese orchid tree that's at the side of the house, and Dad thinks it's dying. I just talked to her. I don't think she's dying. I think she's tired from making a bazillion and one seed pods, but I have about 4 handfuls of seeds, and since they were already on the ground, that means they're basically ready to germinate. So I'm going to put them in some pots, and then I'll be able to like plant them around the property when they get ready. And they're cute. They almost look like little like lima beans that are dried out. So they're kind of neat, and some of them even have wrinkles. But they're like a beigey brown color on one side and like a blonde color on the other. It's kind of neat. Just gonna move that down. So today's live stream. Oh, I forgot something. I'll be right back. All right, I forgot my notebook. And I keep killing hair ties, so my hair's down right now. And I have those Invisibobble things somewhere, but I thought they were in my drawer, but they're not. But a lot of my hair ties they're like, they're dying. Some of these I've had for a while. The one I had in my hair last night, because it was wet, I had my hair up in a bun, and I woke up, when I went to go to bed, I took my hair down, and the thing was like this big around. I'm like, that's time to put that in the trash. So today's live stream is going to be a little bit of a whole bunch of things. I'm going to be doing my Shop My Stash recap, going to be updating on where I'm at for my May 2020 palette challenge. I'm going to be sharing something new that I bought, which I'm surprised you still haven't guessed it, because it's something that you and I have talked about. And I'll be getting into some of the sensitive topics that are kind of going on in the world, because I might not have much of a voice, but hopefully something that I say might just encourage somebody else to make a change. So I'll be talking about some sensitive topics. I know we do talk about a lot, but I kind of feel powerless right now to a lot of the stuff that's going on, and even if the few people that watch these live streams, it touches their heart in a way, then maybe that's all that it needs to do, is touch the hearts of a few people, and then maybe that can spread, and maybe make some change. I don't know, I've been really upset this past week, and if Jason was here, he could probably tell you just how upset, because I have prattled on to him about some of this stuff, and some of it really bothers me, and so I figured I would open my mouth and talk about it. Oh, yeah. Hi, Jason. It says I have 0 viewers in here, so I didn't know you were here or not. But there's a lot of things going on, so this is going to be makeup and like a life update and some channel questions and you're a ninja. Well, just don't go wearing all black because I don't want anything to happen to you, okay? I'd probably seriously go off on somebody and end up in jail. So I didn't go to bed till almost 5 o'clock this morning. We'll just stick with 5. I don't know how late it was. I know the last time I looked at my phone, it was 5. Does that count? I was playing StarCraft 2, the campaigns, like, you know, with the single player kind of thing, because I've been playing through all of the campaigns lately. Because the other games that I want to play haven't been loading, so I'm ready to just delete them and then reinstall all of them. There's like 4 games I've been trying to play lately, and they've just been going every time I try and load them. So, I still have my coffee. I woke up at 11. I said screw it and rolled back over until about 2. So I still have my first cup of coffee here. So, yeah. Yeah, it kind of sucks when technology doesn't want to work with you. I've got a video rendering so I can edit that. I've got a couple more that I need to get scheduled. I did a poll on YouTube asking if people wanted me to post a video like today and tomorrow, and I did have like backup videos that went up on my other channel that were recorded specifically for Instagram, and I figured, you know, if I'm uploading them on my second channel, I might as well upload them on here, and so those were already like ready to go. I just had to post them, and they've been sitting for weeks to be waiting to be posted. I've had so many videos edited and scheduled and whatnot that I didn't need them yet. So normally I would not post a video on the days that I do live streams, just because people watch the video and they don't come to the live stream, or they come to the live stream but they don't watch the video. So the video views like severely suffer, and then it like downgrades my channel even more when people don't watch, you know, when they only watch one thing versus the other. And lately, every time I go to get into my YouTube comments, I think it's really YouTube trying to push me to use Google Chrome, and I do not use Google Chrome, I use Firefox. And every time I try to use even Internet Explorer or Safari on my phone, or the apps that YouTube has, every time I try and use one of those to load YouTube or the comments, it won't let me access them. So every time I go to the page, it says, oops, something is wrong. Hit retry, and you hit retry and you watch the bar. And it goes, and you're like, okay, I know I have new comments because I saw them pop up on my phone, but it won't load. Yeah, and I post videos every day at noon. That's what my schedule is now. It used to be 5 o'clock, and then I bumped it down to noon, because usually on my second channel videos go up till at like 10:30 in the morning, and then I give people a break till like noon, so that if they watch both channels, and I try not to post the same content on both channels. And somebody told me that the last video that was posted on my second channel was like 4 days ago, like last night, and I haven't had a chance to check. But there should have been videos scheduled every other day till like June 15th. So I don't know what's going on with my second channel. I need to go and switch over to that. It's not really a priority for me right now. I've had so much going on. I've actually had orders on my website, things that had to be made. One girl like paid first class shipping for something that can't be shipped first class, and I emailed her about it and was like, hey, could you know, this is how much it's going to cost to ship it. I said, I'll send you something handmade and free with your order. Because of the difference in shipping price, I'll send you an invoice through Square for the difference in price for shipping. If you can pay that, I'll ship it out. I get emails back from her like a week later. Like, I emailed her the day of her order, and like a week goes by, and then I get an email reply from her. I'm like, how do you order something from a website and then not respond for a week? And then she responds, she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then I get another email from her like Friday, and she's like, well, I haven't received my order yet. I replied back and I said, you haven't paid the shipping invoice and it hasn't been shipped out, and I'm not going to ship it until the shipping is paid. So that I don't offer free shipping. I can't afford to offer free shipping, especially on a $10 order. Because the post office has rules and regulations on shipping things like glass and or perfume, and because the product is both glass and perfume, and it could be crushed, I'd rather be safe than sorry and not piss off the post office. But yeah, last I emailed her was like Thursday or Friday last week, and I still haven't heard anything back, and she still hasn't paid the invoice, and it's going on 3 weeks now. So had that going on, had another order come in. I thought the pendants were ready. They weren't. I hunted and searched for them, found them. They weren't completely finished. Dad was supposed to do direct casting of them like a week ago. He never did that. So I went out there to look at maybe doing the direct casting myself, and the shop is a mess. An absolute mess. The rats got into it and have basically destroyed the jewelry shop. They've chewed holes in the ceiling, and they've been coming in through the ceiling, and it's a big mess. They like knocked a bunch of waxes over. They've knocked jewelry over. We've had people out there that have stolen from us. So one of his friends, I do believe, has helped herself to our workshop either while we're home and we don't know she's out there, or last time she was here, I remembered her taking a box with her, and all of my dad's master copies of his wax molds that hold everything he's ever made since he was like 40, so 25 years worth of work was in that box, and it's gone, as well as a tray that had gemstones in it. And I know what was in that tray because I'm the one that labeled all of them, and I'm the one that did weight and carat weight and sizes and prices for all of the gemstones in the tray, and I've got pictures of them as well. So I know they were out there, I know where they were, I know what was on top of them, and the entire fucking tray is missing. So we've had that going on. So there's been a lot of stuff going on here besides just recording, editing, uploading, that kind of thing. And allergies have been kicking my butt. I don't know if you can tell by the sound of my voice, but I've been having respiratory issues with allergies, itchy, watery eyes, stuffy nose, cough, sore throat from postnasal drip, that kind of thing. And it's been like the other night, it woke me up at like 2 o'clock in the morning coughing, and then I had like a 15 sneeze fit where I sneezed like 15 times in a row, and I was like, I got up, got some water, went pee, went to go back to bed about 3 o'clock that morning, was dozing off and had another sneezing fit. I'm like, really? I've been taking allergy pills like every other day because it's been really bad, to the point where my one eye's gotten blurry because it's been watering so much I can't see out of it. So that's fun. And I tried doing an eyeshadow look yesterday, and because this eye's been watering so bad, all the eyeshadow on this eye was like super patchy. So last night before bed, I did my First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream real heavy on my face, and hopefully my face, and I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new breakouts on my face since yesterday, or 6 new red spots that look like they will be breakouts. So do you want to get into the May challenge first, or the what I used for May, or do you want me to just kind of, since I'm already kind of on a roll, do you want me to get into some of the things that have really been setting me off this week? And then we'll get into like the YouTube chat stuff. So that was the life update. Things have been really crazy here, really busy. I've been doing orders like every day or every other day on Depop or my website, or both. So I've been really busy with that. So packing orders, pulling product, shipping things. And one girl, I shipped her two pairs of earrings May 11th, and I kept tracking on it, and it said that it hadn't gone anywhere since like the 18th, and it was going to New York. And she sent me a message this afternoon and said that she finally got them today. So I don't know what's going on. And you can't mail anything overseas right now because most other countries are shipping products back. So I have a lady that wants me to ship a silver pendant to England, and England is refusing all mail from the United States. All mail. And I haven't heard about it on the news. It hasn't been like, there's no news articles on it. I even looked on the USPS website, and sure enough, if it's not there clear as day at the top, COVID-19 stuff, and I'm probably going to get demonetized just for saying that in this stream. Because you can't say that, you can't say virus, and you can't say lockdown, you can't say quarantine, you can't say any of those things on YouTube right now because they will instantly demonetize you. So the post office told me specifically that they had somebody that has a P.O. box at their office, that she mailed a whole bunch of letters and packages to England, which is where her family is, and everything but the letters came back. The letters and stuff, she has no idea where they went. The packages had all been ripped into, the stuff had been inspected, there was stuff missing, and they're sending everything back. They're not allowing any mail to go through, and there's like 50 plus countries that are refusing mail from the United States right now. So I put a hold on my Depop for international buyers because I can't risk mailing them something and them not getting it. And this one girl's like, well, can't you just put it in a regular envelope and mail it? I was like, yeah, but then you have no tracking. You have no idea where it's going. You have no idea when you're going to get it. You have no idea if you're going to get it if I do ship it in a regular envelope, which I could, but then again, you have no idea where the hell it's at. So I told her, I said, it's probably best until they lift the bans on mail that we not ship anything outside of the country, period, because of the fact that, they're trying to prevent cross-contamination, and the virus on certain surfaces can live up to 3 days. And even if I'm sanitizing things with 91% alcohol and a mixture of tea tree oil, that's what's in my spray bottle. I keep a spray bottle in here. I put like 25 drops of tea tree oil in here and then fill it up the rest of the way with 100%, the alcohol. And I keep a big thing of 91% alcohol in here. I have 70%, but I don't really use that. Like, I even spray my palettes with that spray. I spray jewelry with it. I spray makeup with it. I use it to sanitize my counters and the toilet. I mean, I also use like my Clorox bleach wipes and stuff like that. But for quick and easy cleaning, I grab the alcohol spray and spray stuff down with that because I want things to be clean. I'm not like a germaphobe, but I don't like things to be dirty. So yeah, there's a lot, and a lot of indie brands are not shipping right now, period, and some of them are only doing like pre-orders that they'll ship in like July. There's a lot of small indie brands that are here in the United States that were in areas that they were locked down, so because they were not an essential business, even though they were working out of their home, still can't ship packages because of the fact that they're a business, but it's also their home, and the post offices are not picking up packages, period. So I know that there's been a lot of stuff with that happening lately. Orders from like Ulta and Sephora are also being delayed, just for the simple fact that there's been so much more stringent things happening with our mail that, and it's good that they're taking precautions, but our FedEx driver, who is amazing, he's been our FedEx driver for several years now. He was here yesterday, brought me a box. Oh, that's another thing, we gotta get in the box. Not only is he a wonderful person, he's very intelligent, very kind, always been respectful. We've never had any problems with him at all, but he's also like retired Navy. Him and my dad get on like 2 peas in a pod. When he's here, he's usually here for like 10-15 minutes because we chat. He chats with my dad. He always asks like how I'm doing. If like the last time he was here, I was in bed sleeping because I wasn't feeling well, and he was like, "Are you doing okay?" I was like, "Yeah, well, it's one of those things when you have chronic illness that you never know how you're gonna feel from one moment to the next." But he's also black, and I asked him yesterday when he was here. I said, "Are you being affected by all of this shit that's going on right now?" And he said, "Thankfully, no." But he told Dad and I a story about something that happened to him while he was in the military. He was stationed in Jacksonville just like my dad was. He was driving from there to Alabama for something, and cops pulled him over because they thought he was a drug dealer. And I mean, this was like the 80s and 90s that this happened. And he said every time I left Jacksonville, I'd always automatically get pulled over and they'd assume I had drugs. I said, that's just awful. And I said, you're not being, because I've seen like reports where people are being harassed for being black while driving, black while running. They can't leave their property, they can't go anywhere because of the tan of their skin, and it breaks my heart that this shit's going on. I have very close friends of mine who are light skinned, medium skinned, dark skinned. Some of them are red bone, some of them could pass for being white, and it scares me. It scares me to death that I worry about the safety of people I love because they're being discriminated against because of the tan color of their skin. And I lost it last week because you guys know Jason on this channel. His parents were from the islands, and he's a light-skinned black man. And his nephew has been accosted I don't know how many times in New York delivering hospital supplies because he's black. And it just, there's nothing I can do but sit here and watch all this shit happen. And I don't understand how people can be like that. I don't understand the rationale behind it. I don't understand the thought process. I don't understand the hate. I just can't wrap my head around it. I am a tree-hugging dirt worshiper. I love everybody pretty much equally. If you're an asshole to me, I'm pretty much gonna hate you. It's good. It's just how it is. If you treat people like shit, I'm gonna have a specific opinion about you. Whether or not it's first-hand contact or just watching what you do with other people. And it's not even just white people being racist, it's other people being racist too, where they're putting down white people or lumping out all the white people into one category. And I understand there is a whole bunch of messed up people that are my color. But one thing they don't understand is we are all one race. One race. We are all Homo sapiens. We are all human. We are all one race. I don't give a fuck what color your skin is. You are the same as me. The only difference is you have a beautiful tan and I don't. And it doesn't make sense to me. I've worked in law enforcement. I have worked with very racist cops here in Florida. It's the good old boy system here, where if you know somebody, you can get off scot-free. The shit that happened up north is disgusting. Absolutely atrociously disgusting. And anybody who supports President Donald Trump right now with the riots and telling people it's okay to kill people, what are you thinking? I don't understand how you think that's okay. Murder in this country is a criminal offense, and you are the head of a country telling people to go kill people. What? I don't understand. And then I've got people on my Facebook page that are being like, well, if you don't think Trump is doing a good job, then why don't you just leave the country? I'm like, bitch, just go eat a fucking gun. I'm serious. I am like, they're like, well, what has the Democrats done for you lately? There are people in the beauty community on my Facebook profile that I see posting this disgusting shit, and I just want to drive from my house several hours north to Ohio and wrap my hands around her little white throat and just fucking strangle her because she doesn't get it. Every day she posts something racist. Every fucking day she posts something racist, and I'm done. I'm done sitting back and watching this shit and not having any say. I cannot understand how you could hate somebody for being different than you. How can you hate somebody who you don't even know? You don't know what kind of person they are. Okay, so the guy had drug charges 15 years ago. Spent 10 months in jail, served his time, and from what I understand, didn't go back to cocaine. But yet you want to bring this up after you murder him and say, oh, he had a bad heart because he did cocaine 15 fucking years ago. Like, really? Hang on. I can't with some of these people, and it makes me so mad. I've been crying off and on all week because I get so mad it makes me cry, because I have no power to stop any of this stuff. We don't have riots here where I live. In Orlando they did yesterday, and now the entire county is on lockdown from 9 p.m. tonight until 6 a.m. the next morning. And what the hell is touching my arm? I will never understand bigotry and racism towards anybody. I'm not a normal religion. I'm not a normal female. I like both male and females. I would date a trans person because to me they're still a person. A friend of mine sent me a video last night that is scary. This woman her friend was standing on her front porch in her doorway, and the military was walking down her street, and they shot her in her front fucking door. Shot her. Really? She's standing on her property in her fucking door, and you shot her. And then they shot her daughter in the head because she was standing on the porch at her home. What kind of fuck shit is that? You just... I just don't understand any of this stuff that's going on. The government's not doing anything. They all need to be thrown out the fucking window like yesterday's trash. The stupid president is a moron. I can't wait to vote that fucker out of office in November. I didn't vote for the asshole in the first place. I knew what a piece of trash he was growing up. I grew up hearing about him. My dad knew people that invested in this shit that he was selling years ago, and they lost everything because of him. I don't understand how a piece of shit like him ever got elected, and I just can't wrap my head around what the fuck is going on with this country. We're supposed to be the land of the free. We're supposed to have freedom of speech. And you can't even have freedom of walking down the fucking street while black. I just don't get it. If somebody could explain it to me, I just don't get it. How is any of this shit right? How can people think like that? I don't understand. It breaks my heart. I worry so much for my friends. Thankfully, we don't have some of that shit here. We have races like left, right, and sideways, but my friend Regina, she still goes to work every day, and she sees so much shit. And I worry because she's married to a white man, and her kids are mixed. And my friend Ashley, she just had a baby not even a week ago, and her Her husband is black and her baby's mixed. And I worry what they're gonna do to them on a daily basis. And I worry about so much stuff that I probably shouldn't worry about. And I just cannot understand the hate. I can't wrap my head around it. And if somebody could explain it to me, I honestly don't think they could explain it, because there is no explanation for hating somebody that is different than you. Unless you're bleeding like purple or green or yellow or whatever, we're all the same. And we should all be treated as equal, and we're not. And I don't know what this world has come to. When I saw yesterday, there were reports that the Amish had come out and spoke with, they stood up in protest against the murders. That right there struck a chord, because they don't have electricity. They don't use electronics. They don't have TV. And the fact that if they heard about it where they live in their isolated communities and they came to stand as one with everybody else, that should show you something. And then I saw another post where Islam stands with them too, because, in Islamic countries, people that are from that region of the world, they treat their women like second-class citizens. So if they're standing in defense of people of color, that should show you something. I have friends from all over this planet. I don't give a fuck what color their skin is. I don't give a fuck what language they speak or where they're from or what their culture is. I ask questions. I like to learn. I like to be open-minded and see what they can teach me. And you'd be amazed at what somebody from a whole other region of the world would teach you. I didn't know that Australia was in a whole different season than us. I didn't know that for years, until one of my friends from Australia came here and did a concert in Altamont Springs, and she's like, yeah, our seasons are completely different from yours because we're south of the equator. And then of course the question comes up, do your toilets flush backwards? And they're like, well, technically our drains drain backwards, but backwards from us. But there's a lot of things that I've learned from people from other parts of the world that I wouldn't know had I not asked. I don't understand, Angel. I just don't understand. And I hate talking about this stuff with Jason, because I know he doesn't usually deal with so much racism because of the color of his skin. But he also has dreads, so I'm sure that's probably a dead giveaway. This country just makes me sad to be an American. It really does. It makes me upset and sad what's going on in this country. I'd accidentally spill coffee all over his computer on purpose. I don't think I could. I've worked with racist people. I can't do it. I have a big mouth, and I have a bad habit of opening my mouth. Hey, Sanford and Son was funny. I grew up watching that. I'm trying to bring my blood pressure back down. Alright, hair, you're going away. Oh, there is a hair on my shirt. I just couldn't see it. I guess my takeaway from all of this is, if you don't understand something, ask. You don't have to refer to somebody as a black man or a white man or a Hispanic man. Like my UPS driver or my FedEx driver, he's black. So, he's an awesome man. Highly intelligent. I could stand out in the yard and talk to him for hours. And I wrote a post about how awesome he was the other day, and I didn't once refer to him as a black man because he's just a man. Oh, well, you know what? I think I'd accidentally fuck up his computer if it was me. What? Servant outfits? Oh, hell no. When I was growing up, we had servants, but Mary and Mark were white, so. Yeah, no, I think I'd be stringing that boy up by his balls. And then I'd probably end up in court. You know, it's amazing. Last night on Instagram, I was scrolling, and I kept seeing so many brands support the Black Lives Matter movement, and I kept sharing them on my stories. And it's funny, you could see some brands, especially like Spanish-owned brands, there was a lot of them that I saw that did not post a thing about Black Lives Matter. But I want to shout out Wicked Cosmetics, because not only have I spoken with the owner, I didn't know she was black until today. But she's always been super kind to me, and she does some wicked looking art, man. But I didn't know she was black, because to me that shit don't matter. But they posted like their entire feed is Black Lives Matter. And you know, I have supported Juvia's Place and Colored Rain, and they're both black owned brands. And I've ordered from a couple of places where the people are Hispanic. But like Ofer Cosmetics, that's a Spanish owned brand. But I think I'm gonna start looking at what brands I currently use that have posted in support of Black Lives Matter and which ones have not. And I think I'm going to make a decision whether or not to support anybody who doesn't stand and support somebody who is being so highly discriminated against. The fact that somebody can't even walk in their own neighborhood alone, walking their animal without fear of being killed, that's wrong. And until more people stand up and say something about it, it's not going to change. And it doesn't matter if you're my color or you're darker. Anybody who's willing to stand up and open their mouth and say, hey, that's not right, maybe if enough of us do it in a respectful and peaceful manner, things will change. I do not believe in inciting violence. I believe that there is enough educated people out there that they can make coherent and decisive thoughts come across in a way that is intelligible by everybody. And using any type of derogatory words or that could be taken as hate should not be in the equation. I think we need to show support by our words and our actions And like I said, I'm going to be going through and looking at what brands I own, makeup wise, what things were on my wish list, and if any of those brands do not support what's going on right now in some way, shape, form, or another, I might be doing a massive declutter. Thankfully, I have seen several brands that I own post in some form of solidarity to what's going on. And one brand I really want to highlight is Essence. Essence always posts some form of uplifting article on Twitter almost every day about an achievement somebody that a person of color has done or made, some sort of milestone or something that they've done that's made this planet better. Um, and I don't know if the owners of Essence are uh, my color or not. I don't know. But for as long as I've followed them on Instagram and Twitter, they have always spread the message of acceptance and love, and they're an affordable makeup brand. Um, I know there has been some controversies in the past with Suva Beauty where the owners have made some highly racist remarks. I do believe that she is from like the Middle East type region of the world. I'm not quite sure where her family comes from, but she is more of a medium skin tone. Um, so I don't know if she's got like an Indian background or something like that. But I know that she is from over there because I saw an outfit that she wore once, and she had what looked like a bindi on. Um, but I know that that brand has been accused of making racist statements in the past, and she actually posted several support posts for Black Lives Matter. And so maybe the backlash that she got before for those racist comments have maybe sunk in. And I mean, she's either maybe it's sunk in and she's changed, or she's doing it to make herself look good. I mean, it could be one or the other. I could easily sit on that fence. But the brands that continually post black influencers or people of color, other than my skin color, on their social medias, their makeup looks, the sharing products, reviews, promoting non-Caucasian people that have been doing it for a while now, I believe them more when I see them post Black Lives Matter than I do for a brand that only posts white influencers over and over and over again, and they might post one token black picture out of hundreds of white people. I don't think their words saying that we stand with kind of things is going to be as believable to me, because if you scroll through their page and you find white, ooh, a black one, white, and then you see the support post, I don't feel, number one, as somebody who's had a cosmetics brand, as somebody who's made makeup, as somebody who's worked in the salon industry, as somebody who enjoys makeup, who loves doing makeup looks, who has people of all ethnicities as friends, I don't believe when they post Black Lives Matter. I don't believe it. And unless they can show some sort of marked improvement on their social media to show that they are willing to support people of all races, all colors, all backgrounds, then their post is kind of, to me, it really is. And unfortunately, there's no thumbs down button on Instagram. Disney Springs will close at 7 p.m. today due to Orange County's curfew. Yeah, I told you I haven't been spending a whole lot of time on Instagram, but last night when I was scrolling, and if you go to my like live whatever, like it's a whole bunch of posts that I shared for Black Lives Matter, and I only shared posts about Black Lives Matter or this movement if I went to their page and saw that they continually shared looks for people of all ethnicities, not just white people, white people, white people. Now, I've tried to get on PR lists for several brands. I'm over 35. I am very fair skinned. Actually, I look kind of green right now. I'm feeling a little green right now. But because of my age bracket, most brands won't work with me anyways because I'm too old. I'm not 20. I don't have perfect skin, and I have a really big mouth. And I'm not normal. I'm not a normal, pretty beauty YouTuber. I'm not. And I'm okay with that. And I do makeup because I enjoy it and it makes me feel better. And on shit days when I can't even feel parts of my body, makeup makes me feel somewhat normal. And you know, I've tried to be on brand PRs. I have posted the looks, I've shared the looks. Like the majority of my makeup collection is from BH Cosmetics, and they did this like contest where it was basically a popularity contest where you had to have people vote for you to be on their PR list. So you basically post a picture, put the hashtag, and then they share your picture on this page. And then people had to go and vote for you. And I think I had 10 votes by the time the contest was over. And you could vote for yourself once a day. So in the 7 days that it ran, I voted for myself 7 times, and somebody else voted for me 3 times. So I know I'm not winning any contests lately, or ever, because I guess because my give a shit's broke. But I think I'm going to be reevaluating my makeup brands that I support due to all the stuff that's going on right now. And I just got a package in today, or actually it was yesterday. I did an unboxing and first impression with it last night, so I couldn't wait to get into it. Needless to say, it's a lot different than I expected it to be, but I don't know, I'm paying attention to a lot more things now. My like radar is like constantly going. I feel like Canon from Doctor Who with the little antennas going, picking up signals. And unless you're an original Whovian, you have no idea who Canon is, so. Alright, now that my blood pressure is somewhat back to normal, I have stopped crying and yelling. Do you want to get into the May 2020 challenge, or do you want to finally get into the recap for my Shop My Stash, or do you want to get into the box that I opened yesterday? I'll let you guys decide while I sip on my Nope coffee. The box? Okay. Here's the box. Has this black fluffy stuff in it. Box. It tastes like box. Well, I've already opened it. Should I put everything back together the way it was when I got it? That way I'm not just showing you empty packaging, because that's what's in here is empty packaging. Okay, I'll put it back together. You guys are taking too long to decide. Oh, and one of the items did come broken, so just a heads up. we'll do it like a legit unboxing. Oh, wait. I guess I'm not, since I'm live, I'm not supposed to do the crazy thumbnail pictures. I don't know how they do that. They must make about 20 faces before they're like, oh, that's a good one. That looks crazy enough. People will click on that. Right? You know they do that, Angel. You know that's exactly how they get the thumbnail pictures. They're like, I'm sure that's some of the shit that they do. They do a bunch of crazy things and then they're like, okay, hold that pose, 1, 2, 3, okay, next pose. Crazy face. Okay, so the first thing I thought that was funny was I got a return address label. I'm like, okay, but it has the thing on here that's on this side over here. And then this is my order slip with how much I paid and the, information. But also in here was this, which I thought was interesting because it's actually the ingredient list for one of the products, but it was like separate from the other stuff, the other stuff. So, I'll put those aside. Alright, you guys ready? You guys want to count me down? Oh, I lost two viewers. I had 5. Is it because I stopped ranting? Ta-da! I couldn't stop thinking about it. I had to. I told you I was thinking about it. So it's in this like really soft box. It's like pleather. And it actually says PR mailer on the back. So I guess this is what they got in PR. I got it because it was cheaper. I could buy the one thing for $60 and the other thing for $13, or I could buy the entire kit for $65 and get a discount off a book. So inside here you have the palette and the eye primer. Now I thought that was funny. The eye primer does have the ingredients and stuff on there, but this is the ingredients for the eye primer. I did look at it. I did use it yesterday. I haven't had any, there's a bunch of silicones in here, but thankfully I haven't had a reaction to it. So this is the 7 milliliter eye primer. This thing here retails for $13, and I got it in this box for an extra $5. So I ain't complaining. Plus I got like 15 or 20% off. I ended up paying $55 for it, so I got it $10 cheaper than what I should have. So here's the primer. I'm gonna put that back on the tray. Put it back in the box. And then this has 2 broken shadows in it that I need to take a picture of. But here is the box, and all of the ingredients and everything is on the back. This is the Norvina Pro Pigment Palette number 4, or volume 4. I had to use these yesterday too because I couldn't get the thingy open. So there's 25 shades in here. Now, one thing I wasn't too happy about is the fact that it had 2 pressed glitters. But I like how it's black on the back. I think that's really like sleek. And I put the little thingy back in, the little condom. Let me take that back out. Put that down for a second. I used it yesterday in a look. I did the same look on both eyes. And I used primer on one side and no primer on the other. And it was amazing looking at how the shadows worked with the primer versus without. And I'm not a big fan of eye primers, period. I don't think that they work. I've got several of them, and I've never had like a marked difference in my shadows between blendability and placement and color payoff with anything, unless it's concealer, because it's usually lighter and I don't set it. So I have never had a really marked difference in my eye looks using eye primer, which is why I usually don't use it. But with this primer, I was shocked. I saw a huge difference. I can't answer that. I have the Subculture palette. So you figure I've got probably the worst of all their palettes. So I only have the two I can compare with each other, and so anything above Subculture is probably going to be a step up. So I'm going to come really close and show you guys the two broken shades. I need to take this and photograph it. I've used 5 of the shades so far. I'm going to zoom this in. So this shade right here is broken. You can see it at the bottom, the A1. And then A5 at the top is also broken. I don't know if it's going to show up. So those were the 2 that I noticed, but you can definitely see the crack in A1. And then here's the whole palette. Let me blind myself for a minute and turn the light around. That way you can see it better. And there's already cat hair on it. Go away. No, go away. I only had this out for like 2 minutes before it already had its first cat hair. This is darker than I expected. A lot darker. I thought these were more like lighter mauve, purple, and berry shades. This is so much darker than I expected, hands down. Last night I did a look, I used A4, B2, C1, D4, and E4. And you think E4 and B2, so this shade here and this shade here, one looks a hell of a lot darker, right? Or at least to me, it looks darker. I thought for sure on the eye they would be a marked difference. But I was shocked that the only real difference that I noticed between the 2 shades was one was more of a pink base and one was more of a purple base. And they were almost the exact same lightness to darkness. I was like, and here I'm thinking one would be like a lot darker than the other one. And yeah. The other thing is I've watched a bunch of videos on these. I've had friends that have bought this that were like, it's kind of meh. The shimmer shades in here are like topper shades. Yeah, I'll swatch these 2. The shadows are so super soft. See the color difference on my hand? Let me turn the ring light back around. See the color difference just on my finger? One looks a lot darker than the other one. When they go on the skin, the only difference is one is a little bit more purple than the other one, and they're almost the exact same. The other shade that I use, this A4 that looks like a really light mauve, one swipe across it. Yeah, these have some serious pigment behind them. Okay, you see that it looks like a light brown on my finger, not much darker than my skin. Watch this bad boy get swatched out. Look at that. It looked like a smidge darker than my skin color until it goes on the skin and you're like, holy crap, where'd that come from? I thought for sure this would be like a really good, like, oops blending shade. You know, like the ones where you make a mistake. No, but you have the minis. So I was like, again, I thought these would be lighter, and these were 3 of the colors I used last night. Now, again, the metallics that I've used so far are topper shades. They take a lot of building. There's a lot of fallout with the shimmers, not the mattes. I didn't have kickback with the mattes. I didn't have fallout with the mattes, but the shimmers I had fallout, kickback, patchiness, bald spots. And I did use one of the 2 pressed glitters. I can't even get this shit off my hand, look. My finger's pink. My poor hand. Look at this. I'm not going to keep scrubbing my hand. It's going to fall off. So, the matte shades so far, I'm blown away. But again, I did a unboxing and first impression video of this last night. I need to test a few things out. I'm going to test it with different eye primers to see if that changes my opinion on some of the things. I don't want to get into some of the topics that I talked about in the video I recorded. So I'm going to go ahead and close this beauty. And it's magnetic, and it's tough to get this sucker open. Hi. Sorry, that was a little creepy, wasn't it? So my palette inventory this month, I guess we'll do that next, has gone up by 2. So I started off with 43, and then in my Ipsy bag, I ended up getting a Huda palette, so that brought it up to 44, and then I bought that, which I'm now at palette number 45. As of right now, for my May 2020 challenge, I have used 25 of my eyeshadow palettes. I have 2 sitting over here to still use. I've got 3 on the counter. One of them is I need to swatch. 2 of them I need to like swatch for swatch videos, and then I've got a comparison palette for one of them. I need to do a comparison palette swatch video for. And then the other palette, I'm going to look through what I have and see if I have anything comparable to it to do a comparison palette swatch video for that. So yeah, I've gotten through almost a little over half of my eyeshadow palette inventory. I started recording my palette videos on the 29th of April. I did one video on the 29th. The 30th I did a video, and I didn't record anything till May 5th. I used 2 different palettes that day, and then May 3rd, I did 2 palettes that day. May 5th, I recorded 2 more palettes, but it was 1 video. May 6th, 2 palettes, 7th, 2 palettes, 8th, 2 palettes, and then the Libra palette, I recorded 2 looks on like the 9th, but it ended up being like shit, so I recorded the other 2 looks on the 13th. 45. I think total 45. And I did a blog post with all of them. So if you look at like my swatch, one of my latest swatch videos. Alright, you little shit bug, what? Pinging off my face, fucker. I did a blog post and it has the picture of the palette, the link, if there's a link to it, the company name, breakdown, all that kind of stuff. I have an entire blog post with all of my palettes in there. I think I need to add the ABH one and the Huda one. I can edit it and add those. Then the 14th I did another look. The 15th I did a look with one. The 17th I did 2 sets of makeup looks that day, so I used 3 palettes on the 17th. Then I didn't record anything until the 25th. I did a palette there. Oh, excuse me, I have a palette look. I did 2 palettes on the 19th. I've got 4 palettes here, but there's no date, so I have to look and see when I recorded those. The 25th I did the Huda palette, and then yesterday I recorded 2 separate makeup looks. So I did one earlier in the day, and then I did the ABH one last night about 8. So yeah, 25 on my list, and I'm at the end of the page, so I get to flip it over and write on the back. So that's not too bad. There were several days in which I didn't record, mainly because of allergies. Some of them I was just feeling like absolute dog shit, so I didn't record anything. So I'm a little over halfway through with my challenge. I'm gonna continue to do it, to rotate through all of my palettes. I'm gonna roll it into next month, but I'm not gonna be doing them as like, I have other palettes that are new that I want to use more than just once. So anything that I have FI written next to on this list, like the IBY Beauty, the Ibiza palette, all 4 of the Nomad palettes, the Profusion Wanderlust palette, the Huda Beauty palette, the Norvina palette, the Libra, the Scorpio, any of like the newer palettes that I have, I want to do like 4 looks or 6 looks, 1 palette, and get to know those palettes more. Especially with some of these palettes that I'm doing swatch videos for, I like to be able to use them more before I do swatches for them, so that I have a better understanding of how the shadows work. The one palette that I did swatches for, I think, are you this one? Let me see. No, it was the Marrakesh one. It's over there. That I found that I didn't use certain shades in that palette, and when I went to swatch it out, I noticed one of the shades looked rather patchy in swatch, but because I haven't used it on the eye, I couldn't comment in the video on whether or not it really was that patchy on the eye. So there's a few palettes that I have that I'd like to do more looks with, and sometimes I record 1 look in a day, sometimes I record 1 look in the morning and 1 look in the afternoon, and sometimes I get a wild hair and record 1 at 2 a.m. So, you know, that's how I get multiple videos filmed in a day. I do space it out. Usually, like the other day, I wore a makeup look for like 14 hours. It was like almost 15 hours by the time I washed it off. But it didn't look any different than it did when I put it on 14 hours before, other than some like glitter fallout that I have. If you guys want to see more of that, like me coming in with my phone and recording like X amount of hours that I've been wearing the makeup, just to show you what the eye looks look like X hours after I've worn it or before I wash it off, I can do that. I don't mind. I actually think that if we were doing, especially like with first impressions, if I do a makeup look, like the ABH palette, I only wore that for like 5 hours last night, and then I got a shower. But when I got out of the shower, I was surprised none of these shades that are staining on my hand right now stained my eyes. Even the eye that didn't have primer on it was not stained. So I was surprised with the pigmentation of them, and I got my face wet. I have a little hand mirror in the bathroom, in the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom. Blonde. In the shower, I have a little hand mirror that's got one of the, one side's normal, one side's scary. And I use that in there to make sure that my makeup is washed off. But I got my face wet, and that stuff didn't budge. And I did this, and that stuff didn't budge. I took out my Wish cleansing oil, that stuff was gone. I was like, well, that comes off pretty easy. I'm almost out of it, but let me show you what I used. I agree. I have a couple of cleansers, but this one here, it's the Wish Revitalizing Cleansing Oil. It's, I got it in like Ipsy or a Birchbox or something. Like, it's only got a 12-month shelf life, and I think I've had this since like 2016, but it comes out like petroleum jelly. It's clear, and then I put a little bit on my hand and I do this and it turns like milky, and then I go bloop, and then I kind of, and then usually by the time I get that stuff off, it doesn't burn my eyes, it doesn't sting my eyes, it doesn't burn my face, it doesn't strip the skin of oils, it doesn't make my vision blurry. Yeah, baby oil has fragrance in it, so I haven't used it in forever. I have this one here that a subscriber sent me a while back. This is from Good Molecules. It's their instant cleansing balm, and it has fragrance in it or something. Because I smell, it's like lemon grass. Could be lemon verbena. But there's some sort of lemon fragrance in here, and this shit, oh my God, it's like somebody took a blowtorch to my face. Even if I'm like, I have like a liquid lipstick on and I put this and I go like this, my lips are burning. Like you just ate a jalapeno and then rubbed the sucker all over your mouth. It is bad. And I've used this a couple of times trying to see if it was just certain spots on my face that burned. Oh, buddy. And I just saw McAllister. Name just ran out of my head. Shay? No. Anyways, one of the girls that I follow on Instagram and Twitter, last name is McAllister. She just posted about that cleansing balm, and she said it's one of the only ones that doesn't burn her face. And I'm like, sets me on fire. I have a couple of cleansing balms. The one that doesn't burn at all, besides my Sephora cleansing oil, is this one here. It's the Physicians Formula Perfect Matcha one, and a pea-size amount can take off even bulletproof mascara, man. This stuff is like, but it's supposed to have microplastics or something in it, so it's not supposed to be like the best ingredients, but it takes your makeup off. The other one I use is this. It's a Sephora cleansing oil. This bottle is like $15, but I've been using it for like 2 years now. And I'm only down to like right here. I also use it to take swatches off my arms. This stuff here is garbage. It doesn't even get rid of blush or bronzer. This stuff is awful. And it burns my face. So I was only keeping it to use it to get swatches off, but I think I might want to just list it on Depop and sell it. All kinds of shit falling over here. Stay. What else? Oh, these came in either a BoxyCharm or an Ipsy Plus. They smell like dirty feet. And I don't use the whole one. I will take them and cut them. So as you can see, it's big enough to do cleanup work or to take off eye makeup. That's all that I use these for. I think there's 10 in here, and I think I've used 1 3/4 of them. So I don't use makeup wipes. I've never bought makeup wipes, so. But I've got a couple of other things that I've used over the years to remove makeup. And you're right, some things burn your skin and some things don't, and it's amazing. Just sometimes simple like things like sweet almond oil or grapeseed oil can remove makeup, and it's also hydrating to the skin. Or it doesn't remove makeup, it breaks the makeup down so it's easier to get it off. So I I did pull stuff for skincare this month, but I think what I'm going to do is a separate video on that because I did use a couple of things up that were in my skincare little thing that I pulled as part of my Shop My Stash. But because there's one I'm almost completely out of, I think I'm going to do a dedicated video just on that because of some of the things I want to discuss with that. And we've already been streaming for like 76 minutes and I haven't even done the Shop My Stash recap yet. So, I ranted too long. Plus, I want to do a makeup look today, so. Sounds like somebody's running a weed eater. I guess we'll get into the palette. Don't you fall off. Because I didn't pull a dedicated palette this month because of the palette rotation that I'm doing, these were like the face products that I pulled. I totally forgot like these were in here, the bronzers and the face powder. I did use the blush a couple of times and I did use the highlighter, but I have found that the more times I try and use this highlighter, not only do I have like severe glitter fallout, but it's like starting to dry in the pan. And it is dark on me, but it's so beautiful. I just can't, I don't know. It's the Lele Posh Pop and Bottle shade, and it is beautiful, but it's way too dark for my face, and when I wear it, it looks like a beige stripe on my face. And then I have glitter literally everywhere. Dad walked by one time, and I had taken a shower and washed all my makeup off and whatnot, and Dad came by like an hour or so later and he's like, "You have glitter on your back." I'm like, "What?" Sure enough, I had glitter on my back, I had glitter all over my chest, and I had been wearing that highlight that day. So I'm guessing it's the Pop and Bottle shade. It likes to go everywhere. How it ended up on my back is beyond me. So then getting into the actual tray, I used most of the things on here. Yeah, there's, I think sometimes too much glitter on her stuff. Like this one here, I used it once, and there's like, I could sit here and blow on it for 10 minutes and I would still have glitter fallout every time. So the Starlight from Lele Posh I used a couple of times. The Hypothermia from Jeffree Star. This is really unique. It's like peach in some lights and then blue and then purple in other lights. So when I wear this, and I've used the shit out of this, and it doesn't even look like I have used it at all. It still looks the way it did when it was sent to me by a subscriber. This one here is my Star Island from Ofra Cosmetics. This one still looks brand new as well, and I use that a lot. Let me move my seeds here and move this closer. The blush and bronzer from Pacifica. The Pacifica blush is doing something strange. It's got these like little bumpy spots in it, and it's getting harder to pick it up, and it's not like a hard pan, because when I touch it, pigment comes off with my finger, but when you stick a brush in it, it doesn't want to transfer. The bronzer's a really pretty shade, and I like that there's a mirror on it, because sometimes I'll just... It's also really good when I'm doing like a battle of the mascaras, because I could do this, and you could see my lashes in the mirror. So it's come in handy for that. I think I only wore lashes once this month, and they're the ones that are in the tray from BH Cosmetics, so I ain't gonna do that. I pulled a bunch of different lipsticks. I started off with like one or two, but then I added lip products as the month went on to incorporate whatever I needed for makeup looks. And I did get a couple of things in my Ipsy Glam bag as well that I used. Oh, I didn't even use this. I pulled this glitter. I didn't even use it this month. So let me set that on the camera so I can use that maybe today in a makeup look. So we have the SPL lip gloss. It was down to like right here last time, and I've used this a bunch, and now most of the product is like stuck at the top. and it's what I put on earlier in the stream. So it's going to be kind of a pain to get all the product out of this little thing, but for something this tiny, I'm surprised it's lasted as long as it did, but it's also very thick. I pulled the Be a Bombshell Cosmetics in Famous. I used this in a makeup look. I needed more of a purple shade, so I like that. It still smells like fruit, so it should be okay. The Ofra in Unzipped, I had this on yesterday actually. My NYX Butter Lipstick in RebeccaLynOberstadt. I used the snot out of this month, so it's like shrinking. I think that's kind of cool and I like that formula. If I could get those in a variety of colors, I think that would probably be like the only brand of lipstick I use. Then I have 2 Wet n Wild lipsticks in here. One of them I pulled to do a makeup look with. The other one is newer. The Gunmetal Heart is one I picked up recently. It's from their Crystal Skull collection. And then this one is Sea Seduction. I bought this from Ulta. It was from like their mermaid collection. And it's really dry compared to this one. Like this one comes out and it's like dry and chunky and it looks dried out. But I bought it from Ulta not even 6 months ago, and so it shouldn't be like that. Whereas this one isn't quite as dry. It's not chunky. It's more kind of like a sheer purplish gray metallic. It's pretty. And we have a bunch of like concealer type products in here. These were the 2 that I pulled. I don't even know how much is in some of those because it's hard to see. And then my Essence one was down to here. I'm gonna have to stand it up and see. But I've used the snot out of this month. And then this Yensa one that I got in my Ipsy bag, I thought it was gonna be too pink on my skin. But the funny thing is let me show you. Let me get some product. You happy today, huh? It goes on like really light. You don't have to set it. Let me get my sponge. But it has like a light peachy pink undertone to it, so it kind of like cancels out some of the discoloration that I have in my under eyes. But look at that. Dark circle. I mean, you can see a little bit of the dark circle. But look at the difference. And now that it's dry, it doesn't look so stark underneath anymore. Isn't that crazy? And I don't have to set it. It's like, it's dry. It's already dry. And if sometimes it creases in this line right here where like the lower part of my eye like bulges out. It's not technically a wrinkle, but all I have to do is like tap back over it with the sponge and it's gone. But it's like, look at this. It's like I just put powder on my skin. I really think, this was like $28, okay? This one, I think, was what, 18 or 20 for the Jeffree Star one. I think this full size of this is 18. This stuff is great. And I would have never gotten a fair cool shade, but look at what it did. Like, let me zoom this bad boy in. Look at this. Can you even see where I freaking put it? I mean, yes, I still have some darkness and I would build that up just a little bit right there, or use my yellow corrector first and then build over it. But look at this. You can't even see where I put it on my damn face. Is that not nuts? So I think, and it's Korean beauty brand, so I think that it does pretty amazing. I mean, for somebody who hates wearing foundation, like I can still do this and it feels like my face with a hint of powder. So It's really, I really like it. I'm absolutely mind boggled by that, because it is so amazing. So this is a really big yes for me, and when I run out, I'm gonna buy a big one. I don't know how big the big one is, but I'm gonna buy the full size. This is like a sample size, and I think this would be worth every freaking penny, because, like, holy crap. So, just saying. And it's also like a BB cream, so you can literally put it everywhere. It's not just a concealer. I only had 2 eyebrow products in here, and I'm almost completely out. There's like a smidge of product in the e.l.f. clear brow gel. Like, it is so empty. Like, I've even scraped like the top. There's only a little bit down here, and I can't get to it. So this was in my project to like use it up, and it's almost like slap empty. The brush on it is mostly dry, so I'm proud of myself for using that up. The ColourPop brow pencil, I still don't know how much is in here, but I only wind up a tiny bit at a time, because I know from other people's bad experience that if you wind it up too far, you can't wind it back down. So I learned not to do that. Mascaras, I have 3. I still hate the wand on this one. The Essence Lash Princess Mascara, this is one everybody raved about. The wand does nothing but make my lashes like clumpy, and they stick together. So what I've been doing to combat that is I have a reusable wand, or these are like use and toss kind of wands that you use in the salon industry. I still have like 2,000 of these left over when I stopped doing other people's makeup. These are great, because I put this on with the wand out of here, and then I take one of these and I work the product through my lashes top and bottom, and it doesn't give me like the clumpy, nasty, ugly lashes that this wand does, which is great. This one's dead. Rest in peace. My Makeup Forever Excessive Lash. I like the little wand on here. It's like tiny. So what I think I'm gonna do is keep the wand. And then we have the yellow, it's not yellow, it's called Pear, the NYX Cosmetics one. This is the Perfect Pear Color Mascara. This shit is like, oh my god, you can't get this stuff off your lashes. If you put this on, you're gonna wear it for like 5 days. It's like beyond waterproof, and it doesn't even say anything on it or on their website about this stuff being waterproof, but once you put it on your lashes, even over other mascaras, you ain't getting this off. Even with oil, it goes, you ain't getting it off. So I used that in one of the yellow looks that I did. I did it, I think it was the ColourPop and Butter London palette video that I did, use that in. I did my bottom lashes, and then I tipped my top lashes over another mascara, and I could not get that stuff off for days. Liners. These I would not recommend using in your waterline at all. That burns the snot out of mine. Most likely it would burn yours. These are the Wet n Wild Color Icon multi-sticks, like $4 each. I have Burning Bridges, Not So Calm Waters, Royal Scam, and Green Vert. I use these. How dare you? That's rude. You're supposed to keep your top on in mixed company. So the blue just got a little frisky on me. I use these as like eyeshadow bases, and these blend out. They do tend to crease if you don't put something over them, but if you do put them on and then blend them out either with your finger or a brush, setting them down with either a translucent powder or another shadow that's corresponding color will keep these from creasing, even on like wrinkly old eyelids like mine. So those are nice. The Sugar Cosmetics liner, I got this in an Ipsy Glam bag a while back, and the little tip on it, it doesn't want to like give product. I don't know if it's going to do it now or not. It like kind of half-ass worked. So in order to get product to come out of this, you have to get further back on the tip. So you can't even use the tip point to get really sharp work with this. It doesn't want to work at all. This is also supposed to be budge proof. And it dries shiny. Now, if you want a liquid liner that's from like an indie brand that doesn't move, you get the one from Oberstadt. That stuff is like budge proof, watery eye budge proof. But this one here, I'm not too keen on. This came in an Ipsy bag. The ColourPop BFF liners do not work on the skin. I found that out trying to do artsy stuff on my eye with it. It was awful. It works great on the waterline, does not work on the skin. And I think the rest of my liners in here, I've got 3 from my brand, Envy Me, Shiver, and Diamond. One's blue, one's green, one's silver. Used all of those. The NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil, I use this for all kinds of stuff. So the Avon, these little color, what do you call them, glimmer stick? Yeah, glimmer stick. This one's in 24 karat. These are actually really nice on the skin and in the waterline. Got it in Ipsy. The RCN Monster Liner, this stuff is black. It's like pitch black. It doesn't budge off your waterline. You can put it on the bottom, the top, sides, whatever the hell you want to use with this. This shit is great. The BH Power Pencils, now that I've used these more, I find that they work just as well on the skin as they do in the waterline. The waterline is, I kind of put them on first, do an eye look, and then put them on again. And once I put a second layer on, they seem to last on my waterline longer. I know the teal one that I got initially, I had issues with it staying in my waterline, but I found that putting it in and letting it sit for a minute and then putting another layer back over it kind of helped it stay. So I find that even going back and reusing that one to see if I can get it to work for me, because these are like $8 I think on their website. Sometimes you can get them for $6. I got most of mine for like $4 or $4.80, something like that, when they were on sale. So I found that going back in doubling up on the liner helps it to last longer. And then the Flash Cat L'Oreal one, I don't even think I've used this month. I think I was too busy cussing at the other one. So, and that's, oh, and I did try the eye booster from BH. This is their like glitter primer. I've only used it once, and I think I put it too far up and made a boo-boo out of my eye look. So I need to figure out placement with this. Probably use a brush instead of my finger, because it gets spread out on your finger, and then when you go to put it on your eye, it touches other places and then pigment grabs. So that was my boo-boo. That wasn't the product boo-boo. But that is everything that was on me tray to use for May. I mean, I put stuff back, but I love my seeds. And I think the things that need to settle, I'm going to leave sitting up on the counter upright, so that I can, because I still have to, avalanche. I have to do my, I haven't done a project pan update. I've only done the one video, and I always forget to do it because I do my like shop my stash, and then I put everything away, and then I pull stuff the next day, and I don't have time in between to do those. So I plan on doing that this time. So I'm gonna leave these products, and some of these are in my project pan. I'm gonna leave them upright so that I can see where the progress is on some of them. Like I said, with this one here, it was down to here, but because it was laying down, it looks like I've used a little bit of it, but it's still settling. I still see product up here. So until it settles all the way down, because it was laying down in the tray, I won't have a better understanding of how far down it is, but I need to get that filmed. The skincare items that I pulled for May to use, like I said, I have used up one of them. One of them is almost completely empty, or I've got a couple that are almost completely empty. Some of them were like products I've never used before, so I've been testing those out, which is why I have all these random little red blotchy spots. And then my chin broke out pretty bad. It's had like
a scaly patch on it for a week now, so it's just driving me nuts being all rough. I will do a dedicated video just on that because, like I said, there's a couple more things in there I want to finish using. I'm probably going to clean the jars out and reuse them for something else. Oh, and one thing I want to mention about the ABH eye primer, a lot of people were saying that it just kind of grows on its own. Well, number one, if you don't like squish the shit out of it when you're trying to open it, that should be common sense. But if you try opening it while it's up, now granted it's been laying down. I was like, oh, this thing's going to squirt everywhere, and I covered up the palette and me and everything else. There's a little bit at the top. Well, like, everybody was making this out to be like a big deal about the fact that it like grows and stuff. I haven't had that experience, but then again, I'm not squeezing the shit out of the side of it, and I have it upright. I'm not opening it like this. Now, doing that did cause product to come out. But again, I'm smarter than the average bear. Oh, and when you squeeze it, it sucks it back in. So it goes a little bit, so whatever bloop fell out just went back in. So if you're having issues with your ABH primer spooging out because you're opening it like this, be smart. Flip it the other direction and open it. You won't have that issue. Common sense. Then again, that's running low in quantity right now, it seems like. Okay. The only other thing I had to discuss was channel questions. Do you guys want to do that? There's only 3 of y'all here. I've been live streaming for 98 minutes. So basically an hour and a half. Yes, no, maybe so. Oh wow, I am like watching the iPad and there's a pretty good delay from when I say something to when it shows up on the iPad. Well, I'm guessing that's a no on the other topic. I mean, we can talk about it tomorrow when I pick stuff for this coming month's Shop My Stash. I can't believe it's June already. Alright. I just pulled my card out of the machine. I just put a new one in and formatted it. So maybe I can record with the last 2 pallets on my counter. That will put me up to 27 pallets. And then what I'll probably do is pull the rest of the pallets that I need to do videos on and stick them on the counter. And then I need to separate out the pallets that I plan on going back over and doing multiple looks for. So like the Ibiza palette, Berlin, Libra, Scorpio, Antilles, Marrakesh, the Elf Bite Size, the Huda Emerald Obsession, the ABH Norvina palette, IVY Beauty Enlighten, and the Perfusion Wanderlust. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See, there's 4 Nomad. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so I'm only coming up with 12 palettes that I need to do, like, more looks with. So, the depending on how I film them. Oh, and I've been doing more videos where I just do my eye makeup because people are still wearing masks, and I want to show you that when you wear a mask, now mine covers the majority of my face, and I have one of these extra, and I'm going to take that out for a minute. Get cotton on my lip gloss. So the majority of my face is hidden with a face mask, and mine smells minty. It smells like tea tree. And this little thing comes out, and there's like filters in here that you can wash as well as or you can just buy replacements. And then I have one of these swispers. I think that's what they call them, swispers. You're supposed to use these to like do skincare with them. But it's thick. It's multiple layers of cotton, and I'm using it as like an extra barrier. But I've been doing looks where I incorporate masks in lately because a lot of people are wearing masks and they're not wanting, they're like, well, how do you make your makeup last? I'm like, don't be an idiot and don't wear it. I mean, do your eyes and your eyebrows and put some highlight on your forehead, a little blush in the center, and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about lipstick or concealer, corrector, blush, bronzer, highlight, foundation. You ain't gotta worry about any of that stuff. You know, I mean, you could put some foundation on your forehead if you really feel inclined, but usually people's foreheads are pretty okay. So it's usually like here, that people have a lot of like issues that they need to hide or cover. So I've been doing some looks incorporating a face mask. So if you want to see more of those, let me know. I'm at 103 minutes right now, down to 2 watchers. So I guess I'm gonna go. I don't even know. My phone's quite hot too. I will see you guys in tomorrow's live stream. I have another video going up at noon tomorrow, and then probably about this time. You're fine. I'm just talking to myself. What's new? It's what I do regularly. It's when I answer myself that's the problem. If you missed the beginning of this, go back and watch it. I had like a huge breakdown rant. We'll talk about some of the other subjects tomorrow in that live stream, and we'll pick items for like face products and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully I can get my skincare video from May filmed. I'll probably get stuff pulled to do like that again for June, and then I'll get my Project Pan stuff filmed as well once these settle, because the rest of everything else that I have is already upright in there. So I'll pull all that stuff and get those filmed like before I live stream tomorrow. So anyways, I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic day or night wherever you are, and just remember that even one small change can change the outlook for a lot of things. And be kind. It's not that hard. So I will see you guys later. Bye.